Childlike faith. When a man has true knowledge, he feels that everything is filled with consciousness. At Kamarpakor, I used to talk to Shibu, who was then a lad 4 or 5 years old. When the clouds rumbled and lightning flashed, Shibu would say to me, "There, uncle, they are striking matches again." Single quote. I'll laugh. One day I noticed him chasing grasshoppers by himself. The leaves rustled in the nearby trees. "Hush, hush," he said to the leaves. "I want to catch the grasshoppers." He was a child and saw everything throbbing with consciousness. One cannot realize God without the faith that knows no guile. The simple faith of a child. Ah, what a state of mind I passed through. One day something bit me while I was sitting in the grass. I was afraid it might have been a snake, and I didn't know what to do. I had heard that if a snake bites you again immediately after its first bite, it takes back its own venom. At once I set out to discover the hole so that I might let the snake bite me again. While I was searching, a man said to me, "What are you doing?" After listening to my story, he said, "But the snake must bite in the very same place it has bitten before." Thereupon I went away. Perhaps I had been bitten by a scorpion or some other insect. I had heard from Ramlal that the autumn chill was good for one's health. Ramlal had quoted a verse to support it. One day, as I was returning from Calcutta in a carriage, I stuck my head out of the window so that I might get all the chill. Then I fell ill. Quote, I'll laugh. Sri Ramakrishna entered his room and sat down. His legs were a little swollen. He asked the devotees to feel his legs and see whether or not the pressure of their fingers made dimples. Dimples did appear with the pressure, but the devotees said that it was nothing. Master, to Bhavanath, please ask Mahendra of Sinthi to see me. I shall feel better if he reassures me. Bhavanath, with a smile, you have great faith in medicine, but we haven't so much. Master, it is God who, as the doctor, prescribes the medicine. It is he who, in one form, has become the physician. Dr. Gangaprasad asked me not to drink water at night. I regarded his statement as the words of the Vedas. I look upon him as the physician of heaven. Hazra entered the room and sat down. The master talked a while about different things and then said to Hazra, "You see, many people were at Ram's house yesterday. Vijay, Kedar, and others were there. But why did I feel so deeply stirred at the sight of Narendra? I found that Kedar belonged to the realm of divine inebriation. Presently Narendra arrived, and Sri Ramakrishna was exceedingly happy. Narendra saluted the master and began to talk with Bhavanath and others in the room. M. was seated nearby. A long mat was spread on the floor. While talking, Narendra lay on it flat on his stomach. The master looked at him and suddenly went into samadhi. He sat on Narendra's back in an ecstatic mood. Bhavanath sang, O Mother, ever blissful as thou art, do not deprive thy worthless child of bliss. Sri Ramakrishna came down from the plane of samadhi. He sang, repeat, O mind, my mother Durga's hallowed name. O Gauri, O Narayani, to thee I bow. Thou art the day, O mother, thou art the dusk and the night. As Rama thou drawest the bow, as Krishna thou playest the flute, as Kali all terrible, thou hast silenced Shiva, thy lord. The 10 embodiments of divine Sakti art thou, and thou the 10 avatars. This time save me thou must. With flowers and vilwa leaves did Yasoda worship thee, and thou didst bless her by placing Krishna, the child, in her arms wherever I chance to live. O mother, in forest or grove, may my mind, day and night, dwell at thy lotus feet. Whether at last I die a natural or sudden death, oh, may my tongue repeat Durga's name at the end. Thou mayest send me away, O mother, but where shall I go? Tell me, mother, where else shall I hear so sweet a name? Thou mayest even say to me, step aside, go away, yet I shall cling to thee. O Durga, unto thy feet as thine anklets I shall cling, making their tinkling sound. When, O Mother, thou sittest at mighty Siva's side, then I shall cry from thy feet, victory unto Shiva. Mother, when as the kite, thou soarest in the sky, there, in the water beneath, as a minnow I shall be swimming. Upon me thou wilt pounce, and pierce me through with thy claws. Thus, when the breath of life forsakes me in thy grip, do not deny me the shelter of thy lotus feet. From the world's bondage free me, zero spouse of the Absolute. Thy 2 feet are my boat to cross this world's dark sea. Thou art the heavens and the earth, and thou the nether world. From thee have the 12 Gopalas and Hari and Brahma sprung. Whoever treads the path, repeating Durga, Durga, Shiva himself protects with his almighty trident. Hasra was sitting on the northeast veranda counting the beads of his rosary. The master went and sat in front of him, taking the rosary in his own hands. Master, to Hasra, you see, I cannot use the rosary. No, perhaps I can. Yes, I can with my left hand. But I cannot repeat the name of God with it. With these words Sri Ramakrishna tried to perform a little japa. But hardly had he begun when he went into samadhi. He sat in that state a long time, still holding the rosary in his hand. The devotees looked at him with wonder in their eyes. Hasra also watched the master without uttering a word. After a long time Sri Ramakrishna regained consciousness of the outer world and said that he was hungry. He often said such things to bring his mind down to the normal plane. Was going to bring something for him to eat. The master said, "No, I shall first go to the Kali temple." He went across the cement courtyard toward the Kali temple. On the way he bowed with folded hands to the 12 Shiva temples. On the left was the temple of Radhakanta. He went there first and bowed before the image. Then he entered the Kali temple and saluted the mother. Sitting on a carpet, he offered flowers at the mother's holy feet. He also placed a flower on his own head. While returning from the temple he asked Bhavanath to carry the green coconut offered at the temple and the Sharan Amrita. Coming back to his room, accompanied by M. and Bhavanath, he saluted Hasra, who cried out in dismay, "What are you doing, sir? What is this?" The master said, "Why should you say it is wrong?" Hasra often argued with the master, declaring that God dwelt in all beings and that everybody could attain Brahmajnana through sadhana. He had an exaggerated idea of his own spiritual progress. It was about noon. The gong and the bells announced the worship and offering in the various temples. The Brahmins, the Vaishnavas, and the beggars went to the guest house to have their midday meal. The devotees of the master were also to partake of the sacred offerings. He asked them to go to the guest house. To Narendra he said, "Won't you take your meal in my room?" "All right, Narendra, and I will eat here." Bhavanath, Baburam, M. and the other devotees went to the guest house. After his meal Sri Ramakrishna rested a few minutes. The devotees were on the veranda engaged in light conversation. He soon joined them and was happy in their company. It was about 2 o'clock. All were still sitting on the veranda, when suddenly Bhavanath appeared in the garb of a brahmachari, dressed in an ochre cloth, kamandalu in hand, his face beaming with smiles. "Master," with a smile, "that is his inner feeling. Therefore he has dressed himself as a brahmachari, Narendra. He has put on the garb of a brahmachari. Let me put on the garb of a tantric worshipper. Hasra, then you will have to follow the tantric rituals. With women, wine, and so on." Sri Ramakrishna did not encourage the conversation. Indeed, he made fun of it. Suddenly the master began to dance in an ecstatic mood. He sang, "Mother, thou canst not trick me any more, for I have seen thy crimson lotus feet." The master said, "Ah, how wonderfully Rajnarayan sings about the Divine Mother. He sings and dances that way. The music of Nakor Acharya at Kamarpukur is also wonderful. Ah, how beautiful his singing and dancing are. A sadhu was staying at the Panchavati. But he was a hot-tempered man. He scolded and cursed everyone. He came to the master's room wearing wooden sandals and asked the master, "Can I get fire here?" Sri Ramakrishna saluted him and stood with folded hands as long as he remained in the room. When he had left, Bhavanath said to the master with a laugh, "What great respect you showed the sadhu." Master, smiling, "You see, he too is Narayana, though full of tamas. This is the way one should please people who have an excess of tamas. Besides, he is a sadhu." The devotees were engaged in a game of Golikdam. Hazra joined them. The master stood by, watching them play. And Kishori reached heaven. Sri Ramakrishna bowed before them and said, "Blessed are you two brothers." He said to aside, "Don't play any more." Hazra fell into hell. The master said, "What's the matter with Hazra?" Again. No sooner had Hazra got out of hell than he fell into it again. All burst into laughter. Latu, at the first throw of the dice, went to heaven from earth. He began to cut capers of joy. "See Latu's joy," said the master. He would have been terribly sad if he hadn't achieved this. Aside to the devotees, this too has a meaning. Hazra is so vain that he thinks he will triumph over all even in this game. This is the law of God, that he never humiliates a righteous person. Such a man is victorious everywhere. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on the small couch in his room. Narendra, Baburam, Bhavanath, and were sitting on the floor. Narendra referred to various religious sects, the Goshpara, Panchanami, and others. Sri Ramakrishna described their views and condemned their immoral practices. He said that they could not follow the right course of spiritual discipline, but enjoyed sensuous pleasures in the name of religion.